Welcome to the Strategic Growth Experts Podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Taracco. I'm a business consultant, digital marketing expert, and real estate investor. And this podcast is meant to inspire you, educate you, and help you access your highest potential. Subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, connect with us on Facebook and Twitter, and check out the website at strategicgrowthexperts.com. Last, I was talking about how to live inspired and why it's important to be inspired. And I was thinking today how every person has the ability to change the world. The people around you that you interact with on a day-to-day basis can be influenced directly by you. So why should you care? You have the ability to impact people's lives in a way that causes them to impact other people's lives. So if you make a simple conscious decision to live in a way that makes an impact in the world, a positive impact that changes the way we interact with each other, maybe it's something that makes someone smile, maybe it's a kind word, whatever it is that you have to contribute. If you contribute, the world is not going to be the same because you were there. So you're going to make an impact. And whether you know it or not, you are making an impact. So if you walk in the room and you're a dark cloud and you're messing things up, you've got a bad attitude, you're not attentive, you don't listen to people, eventually they're going to take notice. The other aspect of that is sometimes they might take cues from you. You might end up being a bad influence on people around you if you're conducting yourself in that manner. Obviously, that's going to have all sorts of long-term consequences. But really, what I want to talk about is the ability to positively impact other people and change the world right where you are with what you have. This has nothing to do with how much money's in your bank account, whether your business is doing good or it's failing, or your job sucks, or your relationship sucks, or whatever's going on in your internal story, in your internal dialogue, or whatever you're telling yourself. We're really just at the effect of our environment. We can only control so much of how we think and how we feel before the outside world has some sort of effect on it. So understanding that if you're able to maintain control of your mind and how you think and how you feel, and use that to your advantage, but not just your advantage, but use it to other people's advantage. You have no idea how someone else may go out and change the world because you did one thing right. It's not about doing everything right all the time. Nobody's perfect. But the more you act and the more you do consciously with the intention and motivation to create something positive, to create a change, or to impact some people in a positive way, the more you're setting the example, and the more those people might go out and change the world themselves. And I'm not talking about in a major way. It might be a very subtle way. It might be very small. You might make a small impact on someone in a way which causes them to be thinking the right way when an opportunity comes up, and it could change their life. This is just an example. I'm not saying that this is going to happen. It could happen, and it may happen, but it's really up to you. It's really up to how you want to go around and influence the people in your life. Because whether you like it or not, you are surrounded by 6 billion people plus. You have a choice how to interact with and how to impact those people. Now, if you have the ability to make the world a better place, you should be doing that. And guess what? Every single one of you listening to this does have the ability to make the world a better place. So it starts with a conscious choice to go out and make an impact. That's going to be different for different people because everyone has their own unique gifts, their own talents, their own value to provide to the world. So what that is a function of, or a matter of, knowing yourself, knowing how you can impact other people, listening to other people. You know, when you walk in the room, it's not about you, it's about them. How can you make people feel heard? So change the world right where you are. Don't wait for situations and circumstances to change before you start giving value out to the world, before you start providing value and sharing yourself with the world. because you have an impact, you make an impact, and there's really a purpose for you to be there. And I don't personally particularly believe in coincidence. So I think if you're listening to this message is for you, whoever you are. You may know me, you may never heard of me before, you might not know anything about me. At the end of the day, I want you to know that you have the ability to go out and change the world around you. Now, what's fundamental about this is living in a state of gratitude and peace. You have to be at peace with things the way they are. It's not always perfect, but be grateful for what you have and find a way to create the circumstance you want. Don't sit around complaining about what's not working, what's not right, because that's not going to take you there. That's not going to help you at all. It's going to create this vortex or this vacuum around you. It's like a black hole for all the stuff you don't want, and it's going to come right to you. Conversely, if you are living in a way where you're gracious, you have gratitude, you have love, you have positive energy, and you're going out in the world and making an impact and touching other people's lives by sharing your gift, helping them in whatever way you can, everything you've ever wanted is going to come to you, because you're basically saying to God or to the universe, you're putting out there, this is who I am, this is what I'm up to, here's what I have to share and offer to you, and hopefully it makes your life a little better, helps you out, brightens your day, whatever it is, whatever your gift is, it's going to make an impact. And it's like flipping on a light switch for some people. When you go out and flip that switch for some people, and they automatically shift their mind state or their way of being. They might go out and do that for someone else. They might save a life. They might inspire someone. You don't know. You're never going to understand fully how great of an impact you're making just by impacting the next person you see. So I want to challenge you all to something. I want to challenge everyone here for the next 30 days. Everyone you come in contact with, I want you to impact that person in a positive way. Whether it's a kind word, a smile, a nice gesture, inspiration, or just sharing something authentically. Maybe it's something funny. Maybe it's fun. Whatever it is, whatever you find pleasure in and value in, go share that with other people. Go share that with other people and see how it changes your life. Because life is not about you and what you can get. It's not about, what I can go out and get from the world. As you've all run into those people, right? You've all run into people who are all about themselves. They're all about me. They're all about what can I get? What's in it for me? We have the ability and the power. We really have this great power to create our experience in life. There's a quote, which many of you have heard, that goes something like, our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate, but that we're powerful beyond measure. You are powerful beyond measure. You have the ability to go out and change your world. Change the people you come in contact with by impacting them in some way, which is positive or beneficial, and see what that does for your life. There should be nothing stopping you from becoming or being who you know you are. Because a lot of times we have a lot of different faces and masks, and we're not being true. In many of the schools of thought, we can say you're not being authentic. You're not being real. That means being really at the core who you want to be and who you know you can be. It may not be in line with who other people think you are. At the end of the day, that's not your problem. That's their problem. That's a perception problem. People are judging and evaluating everything all the time. You're judging and evaluating what you hear, what you see, everything. And that's not going to stop. That's not going to end. Your job is to go out and change people on an individual basis, build relationships, build rapport, share your gift with people in a way that maybe changes that a little bit. Make an impact in our world. Let's change this about our world. Let's change the way that we interact with people. So many people are experiencing fear or inadequacy or anxiety. There's so many diseases and crazy things going on around the world, right? So Who's going to change that? Who's going to do something about that? Well, I believe that's up to us. That's up to you. That's up to me. And that's up to the people who are inspired by the people that you and me inspire and motivate to change the world around them. Because if we change the world around us and those people go out and change the world around them, eventually we're starting to create something that's much more beneficial. Think about what kind of world you want to live in. What kind of world do you want to live in? What are the people like in that world? What is the social situation in that world? Is it much easier to have meaningful connection and relationships with people? Go out and create that in the world around you, and you will lack nothing. So how can you change the world from right where you are? Be authentic and impact the world around you. Share your gifts, share your talents, inspire people. Think about how different the world would be if you changed the lives of 100 people and they changed the lives of 100 people just by one simple act of kindness, or there's this thing where just pay it forward or do a random act of kindness. Go do that and watch how your life changes, because your attitude changes. It affects your demeanor, your way of being, and that changes what comes into your life, and that changes your circumstances. Sometimes things just start to happen and flow so easily because you're helping so many people. So I hope this was inspiring to you. I want you all to think about what is your gift, what value do you bring to the world. Go out and share it and talk to random people. Go impact random people. Talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends, talk to someone at the grocery store. Anytime you see somebody, next time you're face to face with somebody, do something different, maybe unexpected, but that's going to have a positive impact. Makes their life better in some way. You have the ability to do that. You have the ability to create the world you want to live in. I want to see a world where people are making that impact, people who understand how they have the ability to create the world they're in and change it for the better. Thank you all for listening. Go out and make a difference. Thanks for listening to the Strategic Growth Experts podcast. Subscribe, find us on Facebook and Twitter, and check out the website at strategicgrowthexperts.com.